Hello everyone, Nassim here with Masters Photography. This is a quick video review of the new Nikon 35mm 1.4G lens. Let's talk about the lens construction first. If you compare it to other Nikon primes like the 24 1.4G or the 85 1.4G, you'll notice the same high quality build and construction. The exterior of the lens is made of plastic, while most of the interior is metal, and this lens has plenty of optical elements, which makes it the heaviest and the bulkiest 35mm prime ever produced by Nikon. If you compare it to the old 35 1.4 AIS manual focus lens that it replaced, you'll see that the new 35 is actually bigger, bulkier, and certainly feels heavier. The 35 comparison against the 35 f2D, you can see that it's actually a pretty big lens in comparison, feels about 3 times heavier and certainly at least twice bigger. And a good comparison is actually against the 24 1.4G that I mentioned earlier. As you can see, both lenses have about the same size, about very similar design, and the only exception is the 24 1.4 has a wider top here, and that's due to the 77mm filter thread that it uses in comparison to the 67mm filter thread on the 35. And that's probably the only complaint that I really have about 35 is the filter thread. I don't know why Nikon decided to use 67mm instead of 77, but when I was on the field I didn't have any 67mm filters, so I couldn't use any neutral density or filters or polarizers, which was very unfortunate. And really at that point I thought about either buying a polarizer or getting a step-up ring from 67 to 77mm. But anyway, that's really, like I said, the only complaint that I have about this lens. As you can see, if you look at the front, there's really no reason why they couldn't use a 77mm on this lens. Other than that, it's a beautiful lens, really sharp. I really liked how it balanced on my camera. These lenses sometimes are just so tiny, but it balances really well on both the D700 and the D3S that I have. So in terms of other things, the button layout here is the same as on other prime lenses, MA/M. MA basically means autofocus with manual override, so you can autofocus and then just do this. And then M just stands for full manual focus. The focus ring here is very smooth and very nice, when you move towards the end on one side or another, it kind of gives you a stop there, but then you can move it further. Unlike some of the older D lenses that kind of have a hard stop there, so it's really nice that you don't have to worry about here breaking anything. The rear element of the lens moves in and out when you focus, or when you move the focus ring. So if you're shooting in a dusty environment, just I guess set it to infinity, which will put it to the top here, and that way you don't the dust doesn't get into the lens. As you can see right there, there's quite a big opening there, so just something to worry about if you're shooting in a very dusty environment. It's really not a problem though, because most lenses have this. The 16-35 has the same issue, the 17-35, and as you can see the 24 has the same problem. So only some of the other, like the 2470 doesn't do that, I believe, and then the 7200 doesn't have this problem, so there's really nothing to worry about. Other than that, a really good comparison against the 35 is the Zeiss 35 f2. This is the second generation Zeiss. I really enjoyed working with this lens, and I really loved it. So a detailed comparison can be found on our blog, where you can see test charts and other comparisons. But other than that, like I said, both lenses are really good. I know that a lot of people will be asking about the AF performance of the new 35mm 1.4G, and just like the 24 and the 85, the AF performance is actually pretty good, and I was able to shoot very accurately in pretty much any condition, even in very low light conditions. But here's the AF speed for you, for those who are interested in how fast the autofocus operates on this lens. As you can see, it's pretty fast. It's not as fast as the AFD lenses, and here, let me just show you that. As you can see, it's much faster. But that's just the nature of the new AFS lenses. Not sure why and how the older AFD lenses are so much quicker in terms of acquiring focus. But overall, in terms of focus accuracy, I would say the new AFS lenses, including the 35, are actually much better to work with in low light environments, whereas on the AFD, especially on the 85 AFD, always had problems with autofocusing in dimmer environments. So the 35, the 24, the 85, they don't really have this problem. But anyway, one last thing that I forgot to mention earlier was the lens hood. Here's the 24mm 1.4 lens hood, and it's the HB51, and the 35 comes with a brand new one called HB59, and it's just a little bit bigger, I guess bulkier in size than the 24. It's a little bit narrower though. This one is not wider, but it snaps on the lens like that and stays pretty well, so it doesn't wobble or anything like that, and I would just keep it on the lens at all times. Okay, thank you for watching.